In this endgame, I'm solo clutching, and I know there's a guy behind this metal wall because I placed a wall here, like, because I knew he was there, right? And then I'm tarping in, and the reason why I cut in here instead of staying on this side was because I saw this guy was above me, so I thought maybe they might just like edit the cone and double smack in on me. So that's why I wanted to go like here and then probably go up a layer. I mean, I probably could have just stayed here if I like stayed low key. There's not really any good spots for me to go unless I go more to the left over here. But regardless, when I cut in here, the most important thing that I need to block off is my back right here. But this is the one wall I don't place. And I don't know if it was mechanical, like I tried to place it but I didn't, or I just literally just forgot to place it because I knew this guy was here. And even if I didn't know he was here, there could have been somebody lurking on my back, just like crouching and then ADS pumping me. That's exactly what happens. I die because I don't block my back, and this could have been like a much better solo clutch if I had actually blocked off my angles where people could be at. I want to talk about a bad habit of mine that might not be applicable to all you guys, but some of you guys it might be. So as you can see, I just built in wood, which means I have wood like selected as my building material as I fly into zone here. And usually it'd be fine, but this lobby was very laggy, so it's very hard for me to switch my building material to hard mats when I land. So something I need to start doing is to switch to hard mats before I jetpack, even if I build in wood, because you're going to see right here. I land here, and I know this team in metal is right here, and I need to block my tops, right? Because I don't want to go fully on low ground. I want to like box up right under them and then tarp in. But then I don't want to build here because I know I'm in wood. So I don't block my top. Like, I'm not really building that much. And then you can see I switched to brick, but it took me so long to switch to brick. So that gets me pumped here. If both of them were looking at me, I would have died. And yeah, like there's no reason to take that 100 damage. As long as I had my brick out, I could have built, like, I could have tarped this in easily. But because I have my wood out, like, I ended up taking that 100 damage. Here, I get a kill backside, and it's my siphon, and we get good mats out of it. But the only problem is that zone switch is about to happen, and if we get a maximal, it's going to be really rough for us. I make sure to grab the extra med kits. Now we have 5 med kits, but now zone pulls, and we get the worst zone pull possible. So, like, we're over here, and we're on closing side. It's expanding hard, like, diagonally over here. So, we are basically cooked. My teammate needs to pop a med kit. I need to pop a fucking med kit. So, it's really, really tough situation, right? Now, what I do good is, now here I switch to hards because I'm trying to, like, get us boxed in, right? And I'm like, okay, this is good. But then I realized, like, yo, we don't got any space to even pop a med kit, right? And then this team, like, starts fighting us. So what I should have done, well, first of all, it was kind of bad recognition that the zone pull, like, we were on closing side. So even though I made all this space, literally it did nothing for us. Second, what I should have done, in my opinion, is instead of staying on the closing side just to stay on the side of zone, like, that's fine, but I need to cut in more into, like, not this much on the side of the zone. And I should just went up a layer instead of trying to, like, force through on this on the closing side, because who cares if you're on the side of zone? You're not even going to be able to stay in the box for long. So what I should have just done is went up, and yes, we will get sprayed by height, but we need to pop the med kits. We just got to refresh. We need to make sure we don't die. But because this layer is just so cooked, like, if we were over here, bro, where this tree is, we would be so chilling. But because we are on closing side, it's a little bit unfortunate. And yeah, there's a couple things I should have done instead, but my teammate ends up dying to storm because we were just so cooked. So here again, I'm solo clutching, and what I do bad is I have 4 med kits and I have 14 builds, which doesn't seem like a lot. But if you look at how many solos there are this game, so there's 11 teams, which means there should be 22 players if everybody was alive. But there's only 13 players, which means there's 9 solos, I think. Yeah, 9 solos in total, which is a lot. Right? All I really need to do is just go front here, stop getting caught on backside and fighting this guy. I have 14 builds and 4 med kits. Just get into here, make like one more box, just hide in these old builds, and I'm telling you, I actually get like a top 3 here. I don't have Storm Sickness because it's a scrim. So these 4 med kits are going to survive me for a long time. And like, there's no point in trying to fight them. I literally have 14 builds. That's enough for now. But if, like, let's say I needed to fight them. Like, let's talk about the mistakes I make here. So first, I mean, I max them, but like, again, there's just no point. From here, all I need to do is just play my med kits behind the cone. There's no point editing again because basically the reason why I edited the second time is he started spraying with his SMG, but I think he was trying to bait me into editing. So then by the time he stopped spraying, he pulled out a shotgun, and then I had shotgun pull out delay and I had to edit. So then he pulled out a shotgun first, and he also kind of like strafed to the left under the stairs, so I couldn't see him, which is a good play. But yeah, like I said, I should just start playing my med kits. Ideally, I go front first, get into the zone, not use any of my med kits yet. Then once I run out of mats, then start playing med kits. But yeah, dying with 4 med kits is never acceptable. Something I've talked about in the past is like making sure that when you reset a wall or a cone or anything that is low, to make sure that you keep an eye on it, because someone can easily double spray through. And especially with the tops, when you want to make sure to do is, if your cone is low, is to reset the floor, right? Here, I don't have like the floor reset it, like I have edited, because it's fine, because the cone is so healthy that if someone starts spraying it, I'm going to notice. But here, I edit my cone to shoot this guy, which there's nothing wrong with that. Then I place these walls because I see that team is looking. And then here, I go to like spray this guy. The problem is these walls aren't enough because these walls are too far away. What I need to do is reset the cone and then reset the floor. But instead, I just leave the cone and the floor open. So then all they have to do is spray through one layer of walls, and then they can spray me. And yeah, basically this team up here sprayed through this wall. My teammate got hit down to 1 HP, and I wasn't punished for the mistake that I made. But like I said, instead of placing these walls, I can place the walls like to be safe, but then I just need to reset the cone and the floor so that they can't spray through easily. The mistake that cost us this game is actually this decision right here, which is to land on low ground. And now we are in the worst spot in the game. Now look, some teams, they like to play low ground and they like to land on it early. But for me, that's not really part of my gameplay, because if I'm on low ground right here and then the zone literally pulls like this, I mean, I'm just like, have to tank with Fizz, like it's just fucked. The best play would have been to land up here. Now, the reason why I didn't land up here is because there's only one team here and they can easily chop us out. That's was my thought process. But my rebuttal to that thought process is, if I simply don't stay on this layer, right, I go up one, then all I need to do is just backward stairs twice to connect to this mountain, and then they can't really chop us or nothing. And then we just go again, we get in, and we're chilling. We're on the side of zone, deep, and we have an easy rotate for next zone. But because I land down here, because I didn't want to land here, like there's so many better spots I could have landed. Even here would have been better, because then I could just wrap around the left and it got in. But landing on low layers and first moving is so detrimental to the rest of your game, because first moving is meant not for eliminations or refreshes. It's meant to set you up for the rest of the movings. You got to put yourself in a good position so that you can have an easier time rotating for the other zones. And landing on low ground is not setting yourself up for future zones. The mistake I make this game is misreading the terrain on the zone. So we're on low ground and then the final moving zone shows, and I see that it pulled like to this area, right? But under that road is like a bridge, or it's like basically a bridge, and then underneath you can stay under. So I thought I could probably like tarp all the way over there and like stay on low this whole way. But unfortunately, this like mountain right here, it basically blocked us, and then I ended up dying. And then like we needed to go up, and that basically like cooked our game. So, I mean, it's kind of hard. I can't really say like, okay, I need to know that it pulls up. Obviously, I probably thought like, okay, it might pull up, but I'm just going to gamble like, yo, it pulls this way. But with the mats that I have, it's not worth it to gamble here for sure. Like, right now, I need to start ramping up from here. Like, once I see that, I'm not like risking my chances that I can barely stay on this side and maybe survive. Like, I'm going to start ramping up with, I have so many mats, right? Start ramping up, get to here, maybe even tank like 3 to 4 ticks just to tarp up to this point, because if I can get up to here, then I'm chilling. But what ends up happening is I stay on low, I gamble that we can stay down here the whole time, and then look at this. Now we're like fully fucked because it pulls up, and now like how am I supposed to get up here, you know? It's like such a steep climb. So yeah, I should have started like ramping up instead of playing low ground there. I had a pretty good day. I played like 8 zone rule scrims, and I played them with my new duo who I'm going to be playing with from now on. And yeah, it was a good day. Like, we got a lot of reps in, even though it's lower quality practice and it's not as good as like vital scrims where like the players are better. We're still not winning every game, which means a lot of the games we are still making a lot of mistakes that will show up in the tournaments. And it was good to be able to play new like games with my new duo in preparation for the Div Cup. And yeah, there's not much to say. It was a pretty good day, and that was day 109.